Oh, nice mug. Oh, it's a beautiful mug. Oh, no way. Oh, that's like the replacement. This is like the. That's really nice. Wait, are you doing it for the bit or are you doing it because you love me?
It's the only mug I have.
Oh. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to RaBBois. I'm Svi, joined here with my brother Yitz. Well, actually, today it's RaBBois because you clearly cannot position your camera well enough.
Wait, I see it.
No, don't move it. Don't move it. It'll mess up everything. For
Okay.
As you may or may not have been able to tell by now, Yitz got a freaking brand new camera. Amazing, beautiful. It's actually pretty damn. How much was that?
$5, $7. I got it.
$7.
I got it. Well, cause I got it at that place where you get like Amazon returns. You get it for really cheap. And you that's where I got it.
That's beautiful.
I know it's a pretty good camera.
Yeah, just don't move. Don't do this, or the pixels are gonna go crazy. Now, what are you doing? Get your schnoz away from the thing. Why are you so
I'm
close?
trying to make myself.
No,
I'm trying to make a full screen.
No. Move away. Move away. Are you good?
No.
Can you stop looking? You're looking at the camera like a boomer adjusting himself on like a Zoom call. You know the thingy. But
Okay, I'm not gonna touch anything. I'm done touching stuff. Sorry.
You're done touching things. Well, that's great.
Yeah.
Hope you have an amazing day. I just got an amazing freaking deal. What was it? You know, kosher chicken is freaking expensive. I don't know if y'all understand how freaking expensive kosher food is. We've talked about it before. Chicken is like, how much is like 3 pounds of chicken? How much is like 3 pounds of chicken?
Well, I know in New York it goes for like $4 a pound. It's basically, it goes $3 to $5 a pound.
$3 to $5 a pound.
For chicken, but like that has a bone, like chicken with bone, like not like chicken breast where they cut it.
I'm talking about chicken breast. How much is like chicken breast? That's what I'm talking about.
Probably like $6 or $7 a pound, right?
No? It's freaking crazy. For like a pack of 3, it's like $17 sometimes for like these.
Yeah, it's usually like $10. $10 for a pack.
Not down here. Not in Florida. I was getting ripped.
Oh, they rip you off down there.
I was getting ripped off. It was $17. I was fuming like for some of them. Some were 15. Some were 13. But on average, it was around $15 for 3 chicken breasts. It should be illegal. And there's like politics in Crown Heights, Brooklyn, with like the way there's like kosher meat, and then there's like Chabad meat, and then there's like another level. I don't know if how clearly we could really explain it, unless you want to try to explain it, how the meat politics work. There's politics with our meat.
Oh. Yeah. Sorry, I finally got a full screen.
Stop touching it. You're not paying attention. This is not a podcast. This is Svi Rants, and you adjust your camera. Tell them the meat politics.
Meat politics. It's so dumb.
It's honestly. So dumb. We'll speak it out loud and we'll realize how stupid it is.
It's basically in a lot of communities, and especially big ones, they have there's a beis din. It's usually 3 rabbis. A beis din is basically 3 rabbis in charge, and they pretty much make the rules. I mean, not that restrictive, but generally their guidance is what people follow. It's basically the 3 biggest, and they're elected, and they're the 3 biggest rabbis in town, and they get together, and if there's this minor disputes, and you want to know what things are according to Jewish law, you go to them. So they also hand out, like, it's called hashgacha. It's checking to make sure a product is kosher. The symbol on like a bag of Lay's chips, the OU, that's called a hashgacha symbol. So there's
kosher
always
certification
fights
symbol.
Yeah. Kosher certification symbol. And there's always so many fights because how do you know? How do you trust that guy? How do you trust that guy? Like, I don't trust him. Like, I know the family. Like, I don't really trust him so well. So, like, there's always fights. And then, like, so you'll have products that have, like, 10 of them on. You're like, why are there 10 of them? Because, like, 10 different families, each decided they don't trust each other. So they all said that you have to have my symbol on or else I'm not going to eat it. So when it came to, every few years, when it comes to kosher meat, the rabbis in charge say, we no longer accept this company. The same company they use the same people who kill the cows, do for all this. A lot of times I spoke to these guys, they do for the same companies. It's just different days of the week. And they sell to different distributors. But it's the same guys. But on one day you'll have one person's symbol, and the other day you'll have another person's symbol. Whoever,
it's politics.
Different companies
it's
pay
full
for different days.
And the decision of like, people will say like, oh no, you can't eat that meat. You're not allowed to eat that guy's meat because of the most, as you were saying, BS like politics. It's all the same freaking meat, and they're all getting in arguments about it, and they charge $17.
It's the same company making it for everyone, but they just every few days like they rotate. So I don't know. It was a few months ago. They decided that the main meat that everyone's been eating, the main chicken everyone's been eating for years, just years. They're like, nope, we want to shake things up. We no longer can have it. Why? I don't know. I haven't found a good reason why.
So they're boycotting Jewish businesses.
So then they said, well, the company that we weren't allowed to eat for the last 5 years, like, it wasn't to our standard. When we say weren't allowed to eat, meaning it's not to our standard, even though it's 100% kosher.
It was 100% kosher. Purely like politics and just honestly immaturity.
Yeah. So the company, which when I would go to people's houses and they'd be like, oh, we only have this type of chicken. We only eat from this company. Like, oh, you have that company. Like, oh, I didn't realize you guys were not religious at all.
So I didn't know you ate that meat.
That company is now the one that the RaBBois said you're allowed to eat, even though we couldn't eat it for the last 10 years. So I'm like, what's going on? Like, have I been eating the right meat for the last 20 years?
Exactly. And the meat in our chullin, when we'd have guests over, our friends in high school who ate the other meat, we had to like get their meat, even though it's all the same kosher meat. And but all of this was actually getting to a point which is basically, first off, if you get kosher meat at Costco, oh my gosh, so much cheaper. Uber Eats was having a freaking deal. If you buy $100, you get 50% off. I bought 12 packs of meat. I was gonna make it 16. I was feeling a little crazy. I was gonna make it 16.
Wait, is this still going on? It wasn't only in Florida.
This is what happened today. I don't know what's going on. I'm just saying.
I'm gonna check that.
I'm
gonna check that because
I'm not checking it now. We got a thing to do. But I was gonna get 16 packs. For those that don't know, the only thing that I eat is chicken, broccoli, and rice. My entire freezer is stacked with chicken. But the thing is, I already had 8 packs in there. So I was like, you know what? I'll hold back. I'll just get 12. $85. $85 for 12 packs. It's freaking amazing, right?
That's crazy, actually.
It's amazing. It blew my mind. Freaking hell, maybe that's like the average in the non-Jewish world.
Look at you being very responsible.
I'm saying, someone made me aware of it, and I wasn't gonna go shopping for a couple weeks because I literally go shopping like once a month because I don't need anything, and that's what I did, and it was amazing, and it was the best thing ever. Have you had any like amazing deals recently? There's no way this is what I freaking. There's no way to say that. Okay,
I'm constantly on that website where you can get Amazon deals.
Like the camera. What else you got? You almost got me a mattress from there.
I got myself 2 mattresses. I almost got you one, but I got for myself mattresses, bed frames. I got
it's stupid. You could get, but like the mattresses you could get on Amazon for the same price. This mattress over here was like 250 or something. It's a great mattress, by the way.
Well, I'm glad you're happy.
I'm very happy. I got a queen, but
I don't know. I got a bunch of stuff there. I got a chainsaw. I got a freezer.
A freezer. Do you have something you want to go through? Because actually, I have this. I'm debating if I should go through it. I added a section to my Discord server, which you guys should join if you haven't already. Actually, maybe they shouldn't. Our podcast audience is like a different type of audience. I'm like debating if I should mix those two audiences.
Is it? That's interesting.
Interesting. It's similar, but it's also not because there's people that we know that also watch this versus like they're not watching Jew Boy. That's just cringe. But so I added this channel called Podcast Topics, and like I wanted to like go through it. Maybe we'll do that by the end actually, but I added like I just told people put like random stuff you want us to go through in there. So maybe at the end we'll like go through there.
I always have things in my mind.
Of course, I would never doubt you. I would never want to doubt your amazing contributions.
No, it's more like we could go through that, or I could talk about my random.
No. This is the Yitz show. We're gonna talk about your stuff. I'm
gonna be very unprofessional because I'm never professional, and I will call you out. Why don't you want to pull up the letter from our great uncle?
No.
Who got his business shut down by the Nazis? Then all the people could be like, nothing ever. What do you mean nothing ever happened? Be like, here's a letter from the Nazis saying you're a Jew and we're shutting down your store.
No, I wanna talk about it. I just thought I was more concerned about like the privacy aspect of it, like if there's anything in it that's like personal, like I didn't want to just shove it on there.
Some German guy's like, wait a minute, and like he finds the location.
I know this shit. And I'm saying you don't get it, man. These people are crazy. They'll figure everything out.
By the way, the reason I don't care, I think it's public. I think it's one of these things you can find because everything from like World War II, like they put a lot of documents public. But also, if somebody does that, if you have like one of these guys is able to track it down, that'd be so cool. Our family would be like, heck yeah, we want to know more information about this.
Freaking yeah, no, dig into our family roots, man. I want to see all the lost lore you could find. Apparently, we're like some of like our old family members, like bankers or something, or like I'm not even kidding. I'm not kidding.
Well, the letter, we'll explain the letter because it's really cool.
Yeah, go through. Wait, have we talked about it on here before? I feel like we talked about it.
We didn't talk about the letter.
We haven't talked about the letter. Okay, you can talk about the letter.
It's not cool. When I say cool, as in it's interesting from a family perspective.
It's historically cool. It's like history. It's kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, basically, you always hear about like the Nazis coming down on the Jews and saying they no longer run businesses and all that. And I never saw anything. Like, I read books about it, and you see, like, pictures of them, like, you ever see those posters they had at these rallies? It said, like, the Jews are, like, raping your wives or something. It's like, what the heck? They're sleeping with your wives.
My bad. Nah,
they literally had posters like that. They had posters, I'm pretty sure. I don't want to be historically inaccurate, but I'm pretty sure the book, it was like a picture from one of these Nazi rallies, and it's like, the Jews are sleeping with your wives. It's like, what? Like, that makes no sense.
Some Nazi got cheated on by a freaking Jew. I mean, what can you...
I wonder, like, if, like, people at these rallies, and they're like, yeah, like, what? Like, what do you, like, come on. Okay. It's crazy. But anyways, so, in light of that, so I've seen stuff like that, where it's like, you just, like, this obviously happened. But, person from our family, they found the local government, they have the minutes to the meeting, which is where it's showing you exactly when the meeting took place. And then they sent him a letter. They basically had a meeting. They said, what should we do about these Jews and their business? And they said, I think we'll let the Jews know that they no longer can have businesses. Like,
they sold like
skins and
like animal skins, which is a leather. Pretty big deal, by the way. Like freaking, I'm saying,
it made money.
It was a great thing. Yeah.
So they literally wrote. They said, as you know, the Nazis said that Jews can't own businesses anymore, and that's what the government said. So we kindly ask that the Jewish business, which sells skins, it was like, will kindly be terminated. Heil Hitler.
Yeah, and they freaking and full on like right at the end, like you're reading this letter. It's like under the underline the word Jew, like Jude, like freaking a bunch of lines underneath it. Yeah, they can't have your business, and then just Heil Hitler, like right at the end, exclamation point, and we're like, oh shit, like oh wow, they freaking yeah.
But what's crazy was, I think it was it's crazy was it's like the official government letter, and it's like,
and they all signed it. A bunch of dudes signed it.
Yeah, and they're like, these guys weren't necessarily Nazis per se. I mean, they obviously agree with them. It could be they were, but I'm not. They're just like the local town people, or even like smaller government. But like, this is what the regime is saying, and they're just like straight up like, don't question it. Like, you're right. Like the Jews. Yeah, you shouldn't have a business.
I don't really like Jews. I mean, yeah, I could hate some Jews a little bit, because back then it was sort of just like even before like the Nazi stuff, like there's Jews, like Jews. You know what I'm talking about?
It got me thinking the Jews usually where we have good relationships with the police in the local community.
You mean we make our
try
own
to have
police?
Good relationships? Just in general, like it's just good.
Yeah. So what are you
That's true
saying?
too.
Oh, you're saying that like because of that we try to form good relationships?
That I think that like because of that we're gonna make sure we're on the good side of all the cops in the community. And usually truth is, as Jews, we just want to make sure that they can shut down the streets when we do our BaOmer parade.
Yeah, that's coming up. Oh, perfect. I didn't even think about that. Oh shoot.
In a few days. Every year. Not every year. It used to be every Sunday. Every time that the Jewish holiday landed on Sunday, but now they pretty much do it every year. They block the road, and it's almost like the Macy's Day Parade, where like we have floats,
but with value.
Exactly.
Not great values, but like religious values,
spiritual values,
values.
Just to have like floats and like celebrating Judaism.
No, it's what we got to explain what BaOmer is. It's a holiday, right?
For
those that don't.
All right.
Yeah, it's freaking rude. What the hell? Yeah.
BaOmer is the day that the death. No, sorry.
It's always it's no longer dying. It's every holiday. They stop dying.
Oh my God! Is it
Rabbi Akiva? It was a
Yeah.
rabbi. He was a great rabbi, and he had many students, many thousands, tens of thousands. And for like a bunch of days in a row, they were freaking dying. All of them. Some say it was like a punishment for whatever the Jews were doing. There's many reasons. Point is, on the 33rd day of the Hebrew calendar of Moses going to Mount Sinai, there's so many numbers. They stopped dying. So now we freaking celebrate that his disciples stopped dying. Yay! Great holiday. So happy. We should make a parade out of this. Oh, that's literally what they did. So yeah.
So we basically want that they shut down we want that we get to shut down the streets for 2 hours. That's all we ask. And so the whole year, everyone's busy cultivating a relationship with the chief of police, and they always do. I mean, they accommodate
It's religious
everyone.
stuff. They're fine with it, and they low key like it also. I mean, because it's a funny thing. I mean,
We just want to walk down. Like, you just want to walk down the street with your crappy floats. Like, yes. That's all we want to do.
What are you doing this year for BaOmer?
Well, they always have the usual parade and stuff. It's so
boring. The parade in our town is boring. Respectfully, I mean,
because I'm not a parade guy, you know.
It has nothing to do with being a parade guy. It's crap.
And the rabbi's son always won the raffles. That's all I'm saying.
They always have raffles at these parades. Years ago, they had like a pretty damn good parade. They had one of those traveling carnivals with like the roller coasters inside the trucks. How the hell did that shit even work? The roller coasters in the trucks? That makes no sense. Yeah, they like pull up and set up.
And they unfold it.
They like unfold a roller coaster. Yeah, this is safe. Yeah, we should let our kids go on this. And they'd give out raffles tickets for. What did they even give them to us for? Participating in it?
No, so you yell loud enough. If you repeat all the Jewish slogans loud enough, you get tickets.
And not a cult, by the way.
Not a cult, by the way.
Not a cult.
We can leave anytime.
You can leave anytime. Point is, I had a bunch of raffle tickets, and the top prize was a bike. Was a freaking bike, and I needed a new bike because I had your crappy hand-me-down bike that the brakes didn't work, or it didn't have gears properly, and freaking, you know what I'm talking about? There were no gears on your bike.
Yeah, I know.
Your yellow and gray bike. It sucked, and now it's the only. I got hand-me-downs.
No, those were like the crappy good ones we got when we were kids. We're like, oh my gosh, this is amazing, but like it was still crappy because our parents didn't want to get us the nice ones.
Listen,
I
got one new bike when I was a little kid, and it was a Spider-Man bike. It's the coolest thing ever. I don't know if you remember. That's where I learned to bike. And then when I got to a big boy bike, I got your crappy stupid bike. Then eventually I got my own bike. But because I had to actually use it to like travel. No, I had to use it. I needed it from school and stuff. But they're raffling off a bike, and they're reading the numbers. It was the last one. All the other prizes were gone. It was the freaking last one, and every single number, it was one number left, was identical to mine. It was me and one other kid. And I needed a 9 and whatever the hell. I'm waiting, like, I'm looking at the rabbi. I know he's about to say 9 because there's no one else here that freaking has his ticket. And he just yells 4. And there's already like 10 dudes around me looking at me, like waiting for the answer. And it's 4. And I see this other kid who's like barely religious, who like goes up and like takes the bike, and he doesn't even care.
I think I remember that, and you were so pissed. I remember that. You were so mad. It
was a freaking bike. So mad. It was a nice bike. I was very, very mad. I was never, there's always that one kid that wins raffles. Did we talk about this? I don't want to repeat myself. That there was.
Yeah, that was me. I was that kid.
You were that kid.
Yeah, I was that
And in
kid.
School, I was always the kid that would win like the last prize. Not like the good ones were already taken. I remember there was this, I might have said this before, I don't care, I'm saying it again. There's this raffle where if you pray nicely, I may have said this, you would get tickets for the raffle. And I was the best prayer in the class. Everybody knew this. Everyone's like, wow, look at Svi. He's so good at praying. Oh my gosh, give him all the tickets. I had like 40 tickets. I had them all lined up I was on the grounds looking at all my numbers like I'm a freaking, like the bingo cards with all their bingo cards. It looked exactly like that. I'm saying. And then other kids had like their 5 tickets or whatever. There's like 10 prizes. race cars, remote control, freaking race cars. You know, like
I think you literally said this story last week. By the way,
did I really say this last week? There's no way I said this last week. Did I actually say this last? No, you're right. You're right. I did say this last week.
Yeah, basically got like the bracelet.
Point is, I'll rush the story. Point is, everybody, the kids that had like 3 tickets won like the grand prize, and I won 1 prize with my 50 tickets, which was glittery crayons. It was It was glitter crayons, and I didn't use them. I think they're still on my shelf.
Because you're not artistic.
I'm very artistic. I'm very artsy. Yeah, I'm very creative minds. That's what they're. Yeah.
By the way, did you see? You saw that whole thing with the golfer, the #1 golfer in the world. Did you watch? Are you following?
Oh yeah, no. Actually, all I do is follow the best golfers in the world. It's my favorite.
No, he got arrested by the cops.
Who?
On the day he was.
Tiger Woods? Huh?
No,
what happened to Tiger Woods? No, what happened? He's my favorite golfer. I remember when he hit the hole in one that time. What?
Yeah. How many years ago?
A few. I mean, it's been a bit.
Okay.
Who died?
Scotty Scheffler, I think is his name. Last name is.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, he went around traffic because he thought they were, and then they allegedly jumped on his car, tried to smash his window because they thought he was just being a guy going around traffic. Even though he was trying to pull into the golf stadium, he's the #1 golfer in the world. He was going to the golf stadium. He thought they were letting him in, but they weren't. And they yanked him out of the car and they arrested him the day of the tournament. And they threw him in jail. And they put out a picture of him in an orange jumpsuit.
Yeah.
While they was practicing, he said this is the first time I warmed up in a jail cell. And he said there was a guy in the jail cell who helped him warm up.
What the hell?
He's like one of the guys.
Yeah, that sounds weird. What do you?
What?
No, nothing. How the hell do you warm up golf in a jail cell?
He did his stretches. He touched his toes. And one of his cellmates helped him. While he was there.
Like those mini cells where for delinquents.
Yeah, and they put him in jail, took a mugshot. He was out like 2 hours later because
Oh, you got the mugshot though. I want a mugshot. I don't want to do crime, but no. Listen. The mugshots go extremely hard. They're freaking you know what I'm talking about? You have your mugshot as your profile picture. It goes so hard. No, I'm serious. It'd be so freaking to be my profile pic on everything.
So there's crimes. You could do
Oh, you're plotting crime for me to do? No, please, no. I'm saying, let's do it.
I'm a man of the law.
Huh? Oh, you're a lawyer. Oh no, perfect. You could have you know what I'm saying? What's a good law I could break? Not that I would. This is hypothetical, entertainment purposes only.
And hypothetically, it's a good question. I mean, there's a bunch. They always have those weird laws, like you can't have ice cream in your back pocket.
But that's that one state.
Yeah, I think it's because horses might follow you, and people used to steal horses that way, and it didn't look like you were stealing horses because I just have ice cream in my pocket.
Is that actually the reason?
Follow me. I think so.
I hate when the horse follows my ice cream pocket.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like if you walk around theoretically, if one walks around intoxicated, it's like a public. It's just kind of a public intoxication. I don't know. You probably get a mugshot, but I don't know if really how much. It might get probation or something. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause it's very minimal.
Have you ever got a mugshot?
It could be serious. What?
Have you ever got a mugshot?
I did not condone.
Huh?
Breaking the law.
You never went to jail? You never.
Did I?
Trying to hide stuff from somewhere?
I did go to jail. I went to jail once on a tour.
You visited jail. Did you what? Were you doing Jewish stuff?
No, I never told you this. When we were in camp, they were cheap, and they need to come up with trips. So
what? What?
This is crazy. This is crazy, by the way. It literally is crazy. I'm gonna go through this whole thing.
Good.
In our high school camp in Pennsylvania. They need to come up with trips, but they had no money. So what they did was they called the local jail and they said, "We have a bunch of youths who are at risk. Can you give us a free tour?" And they said, "Sure, we'll make sure to go hard on them."
Yo.
Yeah. So they told us we're gonna go tour a jail, and everyone's like, "Huh?"
Some kid is I gotta see my dad.
We did not know. We did not know that we were there as at-risk people. That's how we got. That's how the staff, the head
What do you mean
staff,
at risk? What is
that
that?
we're at risk of dropping out of high school doing drugs.
Oh, they told you like you're freaking delinquents.
No,
Like
they told the jail guards that's
that
what we
you're.
are. That's what we are in order to get a free tour.
Oh shoot! Like scared straight. Like
Yes.
oh my god! No
But
way.
we didn't know that. We thought we were just taking a friendly tour.
Oh no way! Oh, that's
We
crazy.
did not know that.
No, that's
And from the
crazy.
beginning to the end, they were yelling at us. And
Were
one of
they
the
like
rules,
on the bars like? Ah!
one of the rules is you can't have your hands in your pockets, and because you might be carrying something, even though you went through like 10 freaking security things. And my friend just had his like thumb in his pocket, hanging out, and all of a sudden the guard started charging, just like runs across him straight at him, and we're just standing there. I was standing right next to him. We're just standing like, what's going on? And he's like, and then eventually he's like, whoa, and he's like, hands out of your pocket, and like, he's like, and everyone's like, uh-oh, like, why are we here again? Like, we thought we were just getting a nice tour, and we were like walking through, and everyone's like, glaring at us through the bars and stuff, and they're like, see what happens if you break the law, like yelling at us.
You're like fine,
The
I won't
first
have my
thing they
hands in my
did-
pockets. No.
The first thing they did was they put us all into a jail cell, and they slammed the door, and and it was just quiet, and we're all sitting there for 5 minutes, and we're like, all right, because we didn't realize we were at risk. We're not. We're just Jewish.
And then like a Tyrone like
High
starts
school
appearing
kid.
appearing from the shadows on like the other side.
No,
Like, cracking his knuckles.
after 5 minutes, he comes in and he goes, "That's the last sound of freedom you'll hear." And we're like, "Jeez." And then we're like,
Like, actually, we didn't break any laws, and you're violating our right. A bunch of Jews.
Yeah,
and
we
stuff.
should. Yeah, exactly. But so basically, we thought we were just there as a tour. The guards thought we were at risk, and constantly they were yelling at people. I had my hands in my pockets for a sec, and it wasn't as bad. One guard just yelled at me in the hallway, and then we sat down for a speech about staying in school, and the whole time we had no idea. We had no idea the whole
You're
time.
staying in school. You're freaking in camp.
Yeah.
It's stupid.
And he's giving us a whole life story about how he like dropped out of. He could have been a professional NHL player, but he dropped out to marry his wife, and then he got divorced, and his life is shit. Like literally.
Dropped out to marry his wife.
Yeah, he could have been in the NHL.
Why couldn't he just marry his wife and be in the NHL?
Because she wanted to go to a different college, so he followed her to her college.
To like a crappier hockey college.
No, there's no ice hockey at that college that she was at.
So he just dropped it? What
Yeah.
an idiot! No, hell
Yeah, no, he
She
said,
didn't
he
love
goes,
him
now
enough.
I work at a jail, and it's really expensive to pay for kids. Like he has a daughter or something.
What
It
the
was
hell?
crazy, and then we were so tired because it got us up at 5:30 to get scared straight. Apparently, that my friend next to me, I was always next to these guys. Another friend fell asleep during the speech, and the guard, while he was sleeping, went just right to his face while he was sleeping, and just like, have some respect, and like slammed his hands next to it, and the kid like just like it was like holy crap. And then afterwards, and then like whatever, the tour's over, and we were like, what the hell was that? We just got scared straight for like 2 hours, and the staff were cracking up the whole time because they knew,
Okay.
but we didn't know.
Eh.
And then on the bus back, they told us, and we're like, are you kidding me?
That's why
Like,
you
this
get
is your-
freaking 18, 19-year-olds planning your stupid trips. That's what you get. I remember when I was in camp, they had this whole thing where like our counselors surprised us. They're like, we're going to the freaking water park or some bullshit to like test out. No way I fell for this. I was 9. Freaking, we're testing out water slides is what they told us. Is what testing out.
Okay.
And I was an idiot. Looking back, how much of an idiot do you have to be testing water slides? What's that even? You're not getting 9-year-olds to test a water slide. So I remember like some kids were like smiling. I think like some kids knew what was actually going to happen. And like we pull up and we're just like at a freaking, we're in our bathing suits. We're ready to go to this freaking amazing water park. It's about to be the most fun time. No other bunk is allowed to go. It's just us. And we pull up and it's a freaking pizza place. And we're in our bathing suits and it's just pizza. And that was it. Like, that was it. That was the joke. That was the joke. No, it's just pizza. We were kidding. Piece of shit.
It's classic.
Yeah.
This happens to put kids in charge.
Stupid. But so the golfer got arrested.
What?
I'm saying the golfer, did he end up going to the tour thing?
No, so what happened was he got arrested, and they released him, and then he played really well. He ended up losing the tournament, but nothing to do.
I don't know why. Like that was so anticlimactic that I almost spit on my water. But
Well, it was very The crazy part was that he got arrested, and what's crazy now is that they said we're not dropping the charges. They're going to pursue him for like whatever it was. He got arrested for like not listening to the cops or endangering a cop or something. And then the footage came out, and it appears that he didn't really do much, but they're still going after him. Like why? I don't know. Because just because you're a celebrity doesn't mean you get to get away with it or something. But anyways, it's just crazy. The mugshot was because you like if you're following golf, this is the number one golfer in the world. You wake up and you see a mugshot, and everyone's like, "That's not real. Like this is a joke. Like this is a joke. Like why would the number one golfer in the world have a mugshot during the tournament?"
Mm-hmm.
And everyone's like, everyone lost their minds. There was one reporter who's on the scene and saw it, and the golfer turned around to the reporter and said, "Hey, can you help me? Like, can you tell them?" They didn't even know who he was. The police didn't know who he was. They thought he was just some asshole swerving the cops. They didn't realize that he was trying to get into the tournament. There's a miscommunication. It seems allegedly a miscommunication. So
this is very unprofessional organization.
Well, because he thought they were letting him in, but he didn't realize they weren't. Officially, that's what the official statement I think is. But anyways, so the reporter was there. Like this, it seems I never heard of him before, but he was on every news segment, and he was like he put on a tie. It was good. It's good for him. Like he's like on.
One guy was there for the scoop, and he got his moment.
Yeah, he was on
the microphone.
His hair was like a little fuzzy in the beginning. He's like, guys, like took him off. Like, oh yeah, it was crazy. You know, like whatever.
He's like, hey sir, how do you feel about that? No, that's great. That's great.
It's good. Yeah, good for him.
Do you got anything else? I'm debating if I should go through this thing or not. Unless there's something else. I mean, yeah. So basically, a bunch of people on my Discord asked. I mean, these are just random questions / topics. But
okay.
I mean, this one guy asked, like, as a young Jewish Jewish boy, did you ever get any? I mean, it's pretty generic. Any hate / bullies? Does this mean like in school in general, or like just anti-Semitism when you're like a kid? Because like
I'm reading it as anti-Semitism.
Okay.
But I mean, in school, you know, there's bullies in school just like any other school.
Yeah, exactly.
I think there's less and it's not as extreme.
Oh, it's not nearly as extreme. Bullies in public schools literally like freaking. Like these guys fight they brawl it out. It's blood and they're like curb stuff. Like you should see these videos. We're like wrestling and like maybe one kid gets punched in the face once.
Yeah, once, right? Like once.
Oh my
god! Like, oh my god! He's never going to heaven.
He's screwed. He's going to hell. You know, he's getting expelled like full on. But anti-Semitism.
We had our stories as teenagers, not as kids. As teenagers, when you're aware of it and people say something or. Like, we had, remember I was walking home from synagogue that one time?
Yeah.
And someone yelled, whatever, like, but that's when I was older.
Someone, like, called me, like, the K-word, drive-by K-word, you know, things.
Drive-by K-word.
Drive-by, it was a drive-by, you know, things like that. Someone called me, like, a fake Jew. It's mainly online that you get it, you know, that's,
you know,
which is great, you know, better than real life.
Yeah, people are scared to, you know, face-to-face, people are more scared.
Now this guy says, is there toxic things like people and rules, for example, in the Jewish community? Toxic things. Toxic rules?
Sure. I mean, there are toxic, I think.
There probably are. I mean, probably more if you're like, I mean.
It's more like there's toxic as in, like, people come up with, like, ways that I'm trying to figure out a good way to say it. With like, be
very careful.
Like,
careful answer.
Like, you don't dress like you dress like this. You dress like that. And it'll just be toxic energy or whatever.
Yeah. It's mainly with like nitpicking their religion. Essentially,
exactly.
With small details that barely matter. Like, yeah, they'll complain about certain clothes and like dress code, but like. They're also doing things that are straight from the Torah not to do, like speaking negatively about others. That's a big thing not to do. It's a huge thing. Yeah, it said it's worse than believing in like other gods and stuff. Isn't that what it says?
Yeah,
I don't even know.
So there are like, you can also argue like the Jewish dating. There's a lot of things that, I mean, that's a whole separate topic where like like people are judgmental and like the way that I don't know, it's hard to explain. It's like just the way that our system works. I mean, I think it's better in a way, but also there's a lot of people. It's like they like, are you a perfect straight laced person or not? If you're not, like, oh, like I don't know, it's like I don't know if I could go out with you. Like this toxic in that way. Like if you're not mainstream.
Yeah, it's pretty petty overall. This guy says, should Jews start forming militias to protect themselves against anti-Semitism? I mean, it kind of exists a little bit. I mean, like, well, not really like freaking armies. It's more like Shimrim. Like, well, that's more of like our cops and stuff that like we fundraise over. Not really like an army.
I mean, should we? I don't know. I mean, I think
we should learn self-defense. I think more Jews should learn how to fight. That's something I think. We're too wimpy. We need to, know how to fight. Do some MMA. That's what I think.
Well, doesn't it feel like just anti-Semitism where someone says something, or like anti-Semitism and someone's doing something? Like at this point, local authorities are pretty good, especially like local cops in Jewish communities. Like, whenever something happens somewhere else, you're like, oh, we got Jews. Like, let's go protect them, and they all like swarm the synagogue, and they're like,
yeah, it's great.
Yeah,
it's like, pretty wholesome
with their rifles. Like, we're gonna protect these Jews.
And we're like, ugh. And this guy says, like, when you do experience anti-Semitism, how do you personally deal with it? These emotional questions. Me personally,
how do we deal with it?
The way I just go like, meh, F it, we ball, which is just that's a lot of Jews usually. Like, well, what are we supposed to do? Like, I can't get rid of it. It's not like
I know. It's usually like, I usually go like, oh, okay.
It's like a shock. Like, oh, you're brave enough to like say that.
Well, it's also like, you really like. It's like you don't. Sometimes my brain always goes, you don't know me at all. Like, you have no idea what I do. Like, what are you yelling at? Like, you have no idea what I believe in. I mean, you're just like, what are you doing? That's kind of always my mental reaction.
Yeah. I mean, it's more of a shock. It's like, oh, you like just said that or did that thing. Like, oh, that's interesting. Next time there's a Nazi protest or if event in Florida, like, I want to pull up to it. I want to freaking. Listen, okay. The Nazi protests are pretty damn peaceful. They don't actually hurt anyone, from what I've seen. They don't hurt it. They just also like they might be like FBI plants. That's a conspiracy. But like,
I got it.
I'm saying I should pull up with the camera and like a megaphone. That would go viral. That'd be great. No, I should not do that. Also, the picture would go so hard.
Yeah, you should definitely do that. Yeah,
the picture would go
freaking. Like a good idea.
No, listen, me and I'm there like. Very like somber looking, like very whatever, and there's like a bunch of people with like the Nazi flags like saluting, and I'm like standing there very brave. It would be it's a great pic of my bravery.
Okay.
Yeah.
I look forward to that next video.
No, I'm saying. I guess last question. This guy says, this isn't even a Jew. He just says best food. What's your favorite food?
Steak.
Steak? You're very basic.
The truth is, my favorite food, a good hamburger, like with all the toppings.
Interesting. My favorite food is freaking our mom's meat lasagna. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, really? Yeah?
Yeah.
I mean, it's awesome. That's your favorite? It's
my favorite. It might be my favorite food. Consistently, at least. Like, every time it's, like, happening, I'm like, yes! Like, that's... Like, I really enjoy it. So, she's probably watching next time I go home. So, meat lasagna, that'd be pretty epic. But, is there anything else you got? I'm just saying. You got...
No. You're just trying to plug it in.
I'm just saying, she's watching this, so, I very much... I love you and the meat lasagna. Not equally, obviously. I'm just saying, like, it's a great addition. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to download on Spotify. Watch all the other episodes. I'm going to link my Discord. It's more like, it's pretty much my Discord. You're not allowed on Discord. It's not good. In the description, and you could join it, and you could put your topics you want us to discuss in the podcast topics channel. That's about it. Literally subscribe. Literally, God bless. Da-da-da.